What is an adult problem you were not prepared for? The increasing speed of passing years. Having nieces only makes the problem worse. Their age and the perceived number of years past doesn't align at all for me. Back hurting just from sleeping wrong. Dealing with your parents acting like children. Adults never actually growing up. Deciding what to eat for 3 meals a day 7 days a week. How often you have to clean to maintain a clean house. You have to buy insurance but can never use the insurance or else no one will sell you insurance. Going from having tons of friends to really having no one. The constant obsessive feeling that I'm fast running out of time to have an enjoyable life even though I'm only in my 20s. Not being able to sleep due to stress. Yet here I lay, exhausted but wide awake. When I was younger I could sleep anytime, anywhere. I lost my wife of 35 years. There is no way to prepare and really no way to describe that loss. The endless teeny tiny implications of adult freedom. You have your own medical insurance plan now. You need to pick a primary care physician. Okay, who should I pick? Up to you. But like, where should I start? How do I know which doctor to choose? Up to you. How do other people find one? They just pick the one they like. I don't know any of these doctors. My job is destroying my mental health but I need a job so I can pay my bills. If I reduce my hours for better work-life balance, I lose my insurance during a global pandemic. Falling in love at an older age but watching life speed by so fast. Wished I'd met her 30 years ago. Having to institute a complete body hair management program. Ears, eyebrows, nose, chest, balls, ass, then losing it the only place I want it, my head. Having others rely on you as an emotional ballast. I can barely stay sane myself, let alone carry the weight of someone else's sanity. Being able to not cook the same meal every day while balancing hundreds of other tasks. I will always admire my mom for how she was able to cook, have a clean house, work 43 hours and help her children do homework all while taking time to work out at the end of every day. I could mention other common problems like money management and common tasks that I haven't mastered. But what really hit me like a train was the actual transition of adulthood. I'm talking about having to make my own appointments and having to keep tabs on myself instead of handing every single document to my mom. I realized how unorganized I was when I found my birth certificate in the same drawer where I have junk receipts. It's entirely possible to lose your job through no fault of your own. How expensive living is. I worked all through high school, but my only bill was the gas I put in my car. 30 hours a week on minimum wage goes a long way on shopping sprees and nail salons when you don't have any other expenses. I developed nasty spending habits. Not the value of a hard-earned dollar my parents were hoping for. I'm not in crippling debt or anything, but sometimes having to spend money on groceries or utilities depresses me more than it rationally should. In my mind my mama should be about 40. She has always seemed to be so strong but sometimes I want to fall apart when I see her take several attempts to stand up or make excuses about driving on the interstate. She will be 70 soon but to me she is still young. I don't know what I'll ever do without her. How quickly fruits and vegetables actually go bad when you buy them yourself. When you're not in school surrounded by your peers, meeting new people and making friends is much harder and in many cases almost impossible. And dating is a whole other ballgame. Then again for a lot of us that isn't too different from how high school was anyway. The lack of time for myself. Life is all work, housework, yard work, childcare, bills, emails, phone calls. Turns out, you get fat from overeating. Losing people, loved ones passing away is the hardest. Then there's the nasty breakdown of personal relationships, family relationships and friendships. Then there's the sad drifting apart that happens when life takes you on a different path to a person you were once really close to. Having a presentable place and debating myself on why it matters. It always frustrated me when my parents had a guest over and we had to deep clean the whole house. Like if it's my close friend of 8 years visiting. Why do I care what they care about my cleanliness? And yet, every time people are over I find myself cleaning the apartment up for some reason. Pain. Arthritis is ducking horrible, and early onset autoimmune arthritis is worse than just having an ache in one or two joints. I hurt all the time, everywhere, and everyone just assumes you're faking it or you're a pill popper. I'm not going to live another 20 years with this pain like my dad did. Crippling loneliness and romantic rejections. My heart is just dead, and now I feel empty inside. How ducking dark life actually is. Like, is this all we do? Just grind away at jobs we try to care about, but no one else cares about. Barely able to afford our bills, houses, debts. Constantly struggling with relationships and trauma, and watching our political system fail us. Our country fail us. Our systems fail us. Like, this life is not what happy adolescent me dreamed it would be. Sorry to get real dark on y'all. I was in no way prepared for the fact that one dark horrific day I would sit on my own balls, which is definitely something someone should have mentioned. It left me feeling different somehow. Just how hard it is to lose weight once you're past your 20s. Having to have a genuine purpose in life. The snowball effect of poverty. Every major bill or unexpected emergency, $500 plus, takes you back 6 months to a year. It feels like you're on an escalator made of mud. No one telling you to stop procrastinating. No one else is going to kill that bug. How ignorant so many people are, and seemingly pleased with being so. Preparing for retirement. Of course everyone knows they will stop working at some point, but now that I'm 40, it feels like I really need to get it together. Am I going to continue bad habits that negatively impact my health, or will I finally make changes to be healthier later? My new favorite worry, will I really have enough money to retire and live comfortably enough to have a good of quality life? 10 years ago this all seemed so far away. Now, it feels like I'm speeding to the next phase of my life. Cliques and bullies are just as bad in the office as they were in school. Dealing with untreated childhood trauma. People rely on you, both your parents and your kids. You become the filling in a responsibility sandwich, and the weight of it is crushing at times. Gross pay versus net pay. Holy it. Also, still haven't gotten my first stimulus check. Sustaining motivation to continue my responsibilities such as money and shelter. The amount of family get-togethers you don't want to go to after you get married. I have no bloody clue what I'm doing. I surely don't feel like an adult. Being single and childless at 30 doesn't help. Most days, I feel like a kid playing dress up. I wasn't expecting that. Having a gorgeous woman you are crazy about and very turned on by in bed, and having your D not cooperate. No, it's not you. You're the best thing ever. I'm tired and my chronic pain is flaring up, and I had 3 drinks instead of 2, and I'm in my 30s. Come on lil soldier. Fight the good fight. Medical issues and the costs associated with them. I went from a late 20s guy with no issues other than the occasional cavity to a late 30s guy with spondylolysis, OSA, anxiety, RLS, and hypertension in under 10 years. It's crazy that I am taking medications and trying to improve my health because my doctor said I could die in 20 years if I don't shape up. Seriously, I just want to drink beer, play guitar, hang out with the MRS, and maybe smoke some weed now and then, but these last years have hit me like a ton of bricks, and from what I understand it keeps getting worse. Peeing when I laugh too hard. Hello. Getting dumped by someone you've been dating as an adult after months of thinking, you know this one is different. I really think we can make this work. Writing for a friend, of course. Woman here. Random chin hairs. Popped up in late 30s. I feel betrayed. How quickly your knees will age. The utter soul-crushing search for a job. Hangovers. When I would drink a lot during college, I would wake up the next and feel totally fine. Thought maybe I was immune to hangovers. Then at some point in my late 20s they started to hit me, and hit me hard. Watching my parents get old.